All right, we're back.
Hi.
Hello, good evening. Good
How are you,
morning.
Mohan?
I'm well. Simon Dashley to my left.
Hi.
Easy to my far left.
You say good evening, but if the show takes any longer, it's going to be
Good night.
morning.
Good morning. That's a good
Good
morning.
morning.
too.
That's good.
Eagle down center field and GM to my right. The right fielder, like Vladimir Guerrero.
Hey,
You know what really upsets me about that
Oh,
is that he could potentially be the last Expo inducted.
Well, no,
into
he's
the
going
Baseball
as-
Hall of Fame,
as
but he's
an
going
angel.
as, no, exactly. He's going in as an angel, and that
But
frustrates
also,
me.
was he a Hall of Famer?
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, he was.
I
Steroid
mean,
era.
in,
yeah.
in a world where Barry Bonds is in the Hall of Fame,
But here's the funny part, though.
and Alex Rodriguez, and I mean, there are better players who are not in the Hall of Fame.
Alex Rodriguez, Mr. August.
Yeah.
Mr. July. But Vlad Guerrero on his official Twitter account put a poll question: which hat should I go in? Expos or Angels? Right? 81% Expos, and he
still
goes in
winning.
as an Angel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He asks questions the way Simo asks questions.
Yeah.
So,
He's looking for affirmation, not
should I
information.
do A or B? I'm doing B anyways.
So Simon Dashley is the
Hi. It's me. Simon Dashley.
untalented Vladimir Guerrero.
I'll take that.
That's how I've always thought of you.
I'll take that. I mean, I'm
Because he has
the
trouble with
untalented.
English.
It's true.
You remind me, actually, the first time I saw you, I was like, this guy looks exactly like Guerrero if that Guerrero had no
The
talent.
white version of Vladimir Guerrero.
No, not even. Just Black Guerrero with no talent. Whatever that amounts to is Simo.
I'm not very good at baseball.
You see? That's what I said.
Like, you ever see the first pitch from 50 Cent at the Mets game?
Yeah.
That's how Simon Dashley throws a baseball.
Wow.
Like,
And
50
football.
Cent. Yeah.
I mean, I was a pitcher for a while, so that's
Oh,
not
man, that was a great.
quite
Bad
accurate.
he's
Eagle,
always so young.
Eagle.
Let's put it that way.
Please.
All right,
you
boys.
wouldn't do better.
Let's dive into the week that was for Division 3.
No, you wouldn't.
Alex Hollowak will join us a bit
Yeah,
later
really.
on here.
Would it?
Gentlemen, what caught your attention from this past week's action of Division 3 football?
Okay, I'll start this off. I know you won't say it, but I will. Darksiders beat Dabods. That's impressive. That's probably the biggest upset this week. Everybody was very high on Dabods. Most would be like, did we overhype them?
Well, did we overhype them, though? We thought we had them going to the finals.
See
no?
how I
It's
did
like
that?
you read the script.
Yeah.
See how I did that? But no, I feel like Darksiders, that was... Listen, I've been high on Darksiders. I'm saying that you guys are not there yet. It's just a matter of time. Fred's a good quarterback.
Mhm.
This proves it. This proves that Darksiders is a potential contender.
So I have a question for you guys, and
Cool.
I'll remove myself from this conversation. When did we decide Darksiders were bad?
When they
Well,
played
that
badly.
first week.
A team that's never missed the playoffs, by the way.
We're such a reactionary
No,
league in FPF that after that first week, I'm like, my God, this is like a
No,
Division 8
Mokan.
D team.
Mokan overreacts everything. When he
So,
saw
uh,
Sam Cowell, he
overreaction.
flipped
So
out.
it is.
A team with a collection of players who never played together before, and a quarterback who hasn't thrown a football in 8 months.
Oh,
Well, I'm
sorry.
pretty
So
sure
now,
I'm pretty sure he
I'm
has.
going to recluse,
No,
take
but
myself
I'm
out.
asking a
Yeah.
question. I'm leading the conversation. I want to hear your professional analysis.
No, I'm pretty sure he has thrown football in 8 months.
He hasn't, I
He is
told
a
you.
football coach.
Yeah, but he's a head coach.
I'm pretty sure he does handle footballs at some point. But no, Fred is very good in FPF. It's just rust. Like, the guy needed some time. He's still not there yet. I don't think he played out of this world against
He played
Dabods.
fine.
He was
To be honest,
he was good, but he
if-
wasn't as
if-
good as he could be.
The line looks a lot better if Travis Moses is called in instead of on the 1 inch line.
Well, for
on fourth
CFL
down.
field, he has that touchdown.
So, like, I do agree with you that the Darksiders are great in their playoff caliber team. But which round of the playoffs do you expect Fred Morissette to miss?
I'm thinking quarters.
With any luck, I mean, the one time we made the championships, he was there. So,
So hey,
let's
that's
hope
not so
for
bad.
that. Let's hope for that.
No, but I feel like Fred's just warming up. He's gonna get better, and the fact that you guys got this win early in the season is only a good thing for you guys.
Well, because the schedule for Darksiders in the first 6 weeks is brutal.
But the schedule for that group entirely is
Yeah,
brutal,
it's
except if you're Dabots, because you're that one team.
Yeah,
that
you're
beats
the
on
team
people.
who should be beating these teams.
But I agree with you that Darksiders have a tough schedule, and if you guys are 2-1, you're 2-1 at this point.
Yeah.
It's a good start considering everything.
I will say, having played Dad Bods, I was impressed in terms of their defense is excellent, especially
What
When-
the core is ridiculous.
when they need to lock down receivers. I've never seen every throw having to fit in such a tight window.
Who was on you, by the way?
Who
was covering
Air.
you?
It was De Silva was on me for a bit.
Which
Again,
one?
I can't remember names.
Anthony or Matt?
The
think it's
snapper or
Anthony.
the other one?
Snapper.
Anthony.
Okay.
He was on me for a bit. Sean Abram was on me, but the
Future Hall of Famer Sean Abram?
Probably. And honestly, like all game long, I was talking trash. Every time he missed a throw, I said Joey Taylor would have made that throw. but honestly, it's all fun and games. But the thing is, like Sean Abrams is excellent, and what I realized is he uses every part of the field, and he really stretches your defense to try and attack at different zones. And
I like his offense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like what they're doing.
And his ability to read pre-snap is probably the best in division.
Yep.
And I will say the one thing that was disappointing, and I mean not disappointing for me ultimately, but he had a chance to win the game with 5 plays left. Marched down the field, took a shot at the end zone. Travis Moses able to get the PD to win the game. So I mean,
that is disappointing. The fact that
he couldn't do, but I mean,
if you want to be considered like the top team in the division, you need to. If you have these chances, if you have 2 plays, whatever, 2 plays is it's like a coin toss. But if you have 4 or 5 plays, you should be able to at least get something going, get the red zone, and then try something. If you can't even do that,
well, he got the half field and took a shot from the half field.
5 plays though.
Yeah, I know, but that was surprising. I thought they would have had 2 shots from the red zone.
Laval's Finest winning over KGP
Not
38-31.
surprising.
That was a great game, actually. Dylan Taylor and Phil Cutler had a quarterback duel. 260 for yards for Taylor and 230 for Cutler. I thought Laval's Finest kind of allowed KGP to come back in this football game. They had control of it in the first half. The Bikelis boys were phenomenal. Nick Bikelis had a great game. A highlight grab for a touchdown on top of that. And I think and here's the thing about KGP, right, guys? They always had like that minimal roster, 6-7 guys max, right? But on paper, this might be the most balanced roster across the board, whether it's Garfinkel, James Crow, who looks like a 180 from where he was years ago, being a defensive force. Look, they impressed in a loss like
James
this.
Crow has always been a good FPF.
And
No
that's
means
what
bulk wise.
Yes.
Yeah, like he looks more agile out there.
Okay, so I wasn't sure what you meant. Like I was like 180. So he's bad now. Like,
Well,
That's
he-
what I was wondering.
like he went from being bad to now being agile, right? So,
Okay.
but
James Crow was never bad.
but he was never that guy that stood out. Like he stood out in this football game.
Okay.
Like he made a big INT, and
He has his moments.
And look, I think right now this team and how they're built, this is probably the best balanced team that Phil Cutler's had.
what I'm impressed with is Ryan Garber, a guy I coached in FPF Junior. He's
Loves his confidence.
He's a small dude. I thought he was gonna get bullied and pushed around Division 3,
No?
especially in a game like this against Laval's Finest.
Yeah.
He held his own, got 2 touchdowns.
That's
Part
good.
of the kid.
That's good. Jonathan Garfinkel also, he looks like the kind of guy you could bully around, but
You can't though.
he's
His
not.
release is so good.
He's a
not.
good Garfinkel.
His first step has to be like the quickest. Like
I mean,
we've tried to. I know you're not allowed to jam in FPF. We've
Peeze
tried
does
to
it.
jam Garfinkel in previous
the
divisions.
one
and
thing I have against Garfinkel is he needs to wear shorts. He only wears tights. It's a bit
disgusting.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But aside from that, great player. The one team, honestly, I'll give Jim some props here. Top Sauce has only allowed 25 points so far. That's like 8 per game.
Yeah. How sure are you that Justin Blanchard's taking all of the credit, by the way, for that? As
Yeah,
the
I don't-
defensive
I don't-
play
I don't
I'm a
really care.
genius and
I don't
it's all
really care.
me.
I'll
know,
give the props to Vince.
Protein that he eats on a daily basis.
No, but the Top Sauce, honestly, that's impressive. 25
Yeah,
points in 3
absolutely.
games. That's ridiculous.
2.5 downs against Recipe for Disaster, and I'll tell you one thing, guys. If you're a patient person watching FPF,
Hey, I was there for some
you were
of
there
that.
for that. Yeah.
I left because it was boring.
Because you were not patient.
Yeah, he wasn't patient. The opening drive of the second half for the Disaster team, who were playing with that Kevin Bustani, who had to go to Ottawa for a big interview
Boost.
for work. It went, you ready for this, Peeze?
Mm-hmm.
15-play drive. 3 fourth down
How's
conversions.
that possible? Like mathematically, does that?
3 fourth down
that's what
conversions.
I had a 14-play drive to finish my game this week. It's brutal. Like if you're on defense, it's honestly mentally tough to see we have so many opportunities and just miss every one of them.
3 fourth down conversions.
Like if you're up, cool for them because they're killing time. But if you're down, it's the recipe for disaster.
11-minute time of possession. And Joy Taylor, they scored, right? Recipe for Disaster to tie it up. Joy Taylor comes back on the football field, scores in 2 plays. And he comes to the sideline. guys, oh man, like,
It is frustrating though.
That's
It
the
is-
worst Joey
It
Taylor
is
impression.
frustrating to score in like 2 plays and then have to sit and watch your defense do nothing for 20 minutes.
Oh, it's it's
like
the
real time.
longest.
Yeah, like
real time. You're like, man.
like Joey Taylor was on the field for exactly 70 seconds of the second half.
Well, they say in football, right? In reality, if you do like an actual time, is 11 minutes worth of football that you're watching in a
Yep.
3-hour window, right? This was
Doesn't it make you feel like we're all wasting our lives?
We are. We are. But no, this was a big win for 2HD because I thought they could have pulled away, but I think for Jake Applebaum coming off his injury that he has suffered, he still hasn't found that rhythm yet. Like he's still missing that extra step. And
So how is this a huge win for 2HD?
because in a style that it was, right, where your best weapon, your quarterback, is on the sideline for pretty much the entire second
Okay,
half, they come
but-
away with a victory with very
shouldn't-
minimal place to work
Shouldn't
with.
this been like a blowout win for them? Shouldn't 2HD
Could've,
have
would've,
been able
should've,
to
right?
win this like
But
40 to
in
something?
I'm surprised by the play of 2HD so far.
Surprised in a good or bad way?
Negatively surprised.
I agree with you. I
like
feel
a waking nightmare.
I feel like they should be doing much better, but they're not. Their offense is not good at the moment.
Let's talk about splitting offenses then. 2HD and Brotherhood, right? Both their offenses have been
Well,
sputtering.
wait a minute. Brother's offense has not been that solid. They've been putting a lot of points. It's just
They haven't been putting up that many points.
25 a game.
That's not enough.
That's not bad.
That's not enough.
I mean,
According to
they're
Peeze, how many points do
they're
you need to win a
winning.
football game
You
in
need 30
FPF?
points to win.
I mean,
Thank you.
They're
playoff
winning
games. Yeah, that's fine. That's not sustainable though. Do you think it's sustainable to score 4 touchdowns a game and win?
with that defense, maybe.
But also maybe not. Whereas if I say 30,
But
you
even
can say
even
yes.
by that logic, that defense is not scoring points.
Yeah.
And Theo had
Yeah.
a pick 6 on Sunday against ODB.
So they are scoring.
but
So either they're not
no.
either
But
they're
here's
not
the thing, though,
scoring
right?
points because
Yeah.
they haven't put up 5 touchdowns, or they are scoring points and they're averaging 25 points
Like,
a game
and-
when that defense
and
is.
they're probably listening and saying like, "Oh, these guys are crazy. It doesn't matter. A win's a win." Well, if you think so, but if you think that's sustainable, cool.
Well, listen, they're gonna drop.
See you on the
50
golf course.
They're gonna drop 50 next week because they're playing us and we're terrible against against Brotherhood. So
you have like
hold on.
you have these you have certain teams that you never like. You've never
Yep.
been Darksiders. You've never
Nope.
been Brotherhood.
Yeah,
There's
Theo
certain teams
has
you
his
just
number,
lose.
man.
it's not gonna happen.
there will be 5 plays this Sunday at Lachine for sure. My
Anytime
field.
you
gonna
play
be
against
bad.
Justin Blanchard, loss.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's true.
No,
But-
no, I beat Darksiders last spring. You know that game you weren't there and Justin Blanchard
Oh, I
can't
wasn't
cover
there,
a post
that's
corner
why.
for some
So
reason.
That's why I
how do we
wasn't
look
there,
at this team though? In terms of these two offenses right now, not as dominant as we thought they would have been at this point of the year.
I agree with you, but we talked about Brotherhood last week, so let's not.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 2.5
Let's
downs. I
focus
do
more on 2.5 downs.
2.5 downs. I do agree with you that I was expecting more out of this offense. The defense has been good. I don't have
saw
any.
this team before the season. And I was like, wow, this is
It's
the
a good
best
team.
team. But is it the best team for Joey Taylor?
He's the one that put it together.
Yes,
they
we all
understand-
make mistakes.
But they understand his language though, right?
Sorry,
They understand his language of how to run this
they
offense.
speak English. Yeah.
but I think it's
But
just a matter of
same-
time. The way Fred Morissette takes time with his receivers because it's timing routes and spacing.
It's basically
Joey Taylor
Joey
kind of
is-
has that thing.
Joey has
same-
more spacing than anyone else in FPF.
Yeah.
Give me the Dans and Tams roster is the best Joey Taylor offense.
It's up there. It's
Yeah.
up there, honestly. And I said, credit to you, GM. I actually said to you when I first saw you guys play together, I said, you might be one of the best guys I've ever seen on a Joey Taylor offense.
It's a system,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you
that's
fit it
that's
well.
all you need.
And it's just,
Can you elaborate to us the system? How does that work? Take us inside that
I
huddle.
can do that if you like.
One of you guys, go ahead. Tell us how is it inside a Joy Taylor office? What does he tell the offense?
I don't know what it is in the huddle, but I can tell you what the offense is based on. The offense
Well,
is
GM
based
can do
on,
that.
on close crossing routes at various depths and allowing him to make a read when he constantly has 2 receivers against 1 defensive back, and he just
Yeah.
throws to where the defensive back is not. It's very simple. It is
Yep.
it is brain dead simple, but his level of execution on this offense, other than this season, hasn't worked out to this point. But through his career, his execution on this offense has been excellent.
And to further elaborate without like giving away too many tendencies, like I'm not going to say which position is what, but on the offense, so like the different receiver positions and the center position, to Joey, each one of those positions is like a different type of player. So one person is like the possession hands, one person is the speed, and he calls plays around that based on who is in what spot.
Yeah, it's designed to get guys open in space, and so either it's calling a play that I need to get 7 yards, so he's going to go to his possession guy and call plays that clear out that space, or I'm going to get a guy moving upfield and I just cleared up the whole backside of the field for him to take it up for 30 yards. It's it's an interesting system, and he executes it excellently.
More surprised. We talked about dad bots, but you're more surprised by Simon Dagenet's performance of 269 yards passing, or dad bots losing.
I'm never surprised when Simo puts up a lot of yards. I'm always surprised when he doesn't turn the ball over 7 times. So Simo is the most volatile FPF quarterback. He'll always put up yards. So I'm not surprised by the yardage at all.
Yeah.
But I like I'm myself. Yes.
Cool.
But I agree with you where like
Thanks for clarifying, John
the
Malkovich.
way my offense works
He ain't in
is
CBS.
there's
commercial.
there's gonna be like I do have a lot of yards every season, but INTs are there because I
Yeah.
take a lot of risks.
Yeah.
And
Which
everybody
is
who
why you
plays
also put up yards.
everybody who plays with me and against me knows that too. Like it's not a secret. So that's also the reason why there's a lot of yards. Is if it works, it's like I'm always gambling on the high risk, high reward. I'm never the black and
It's
white
like
kind
you're
of guy
only calling the post score.
because it
And then,
works.
you know-
one route to rule them all.
You know, when Simo, again, he has that walk after a touchdown or dominant drive. He does that walk, that slow strut to the sidelines.
Yeah, there's something that happens in your face that makes you want to slap you.
Yeah. Like, he had this.
Even when I
Wasn't
played with
there
you.
one of the games of the week where Lance Daniel like slowed it down as Simon was about to like catch a ball, a snap or something? He's just like licking his fingers,
Yeah.
but it was just like slowed down to an obscene degree.
yeah, it was good. It was solid. Good work, lads.
But so to answer most question, that Buzz loss is more surprising. That was the
Yeah.
upset of the week.
I agree.
Like, speaking, like, it's 2 weeks from now, the Week 5 showdown with Top Sauce against Laval's Finest. But, guys, you look at the best offense in the league in Laval's Finest against the best defense in Top Sauce. Who are you taking right now, boys?
Laval's finest. I
Really?
yes.
I agree.
I
with
honestly, and I'm been specifically hard on Vincent Ardon, but what it is that he's a very good player.
no, but we're
I
taking
don't-
defense against offense.
Yeah,
right?
you taking the Laval's offense?
It's not
or
top
you
sauce.
taking
It's not
the Top
Vince,
Sauce
QB.
defense?
Oh, top sauce. Okay. Well, I still.
Just remember, the Top Sauce defense is one injury away from having me on the field.
That's awesome.
Or one family dinner that your girlfriend makes you go to, and then GM's gonna play defense.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, it's a good question. It's a very good question. I still favor slightly the Laval's finest. And the thing is, phrased that way, which is a bizarre question, but phrased that way, it's a lot closer. Because Top Sauce's defense, I think, is their shining star.
On a good night for Dylan Taylor, if he has the receivers, he has the weapons on the Voss Finest to really put out great numbers. And if he has a good night against Top Sauce, he's going to make that defense look bad.
7 INTs for the Top Sauce defense. Chris Millard has 4 sacks. Doesn't Chris Millard eliminate Dylan Taylor and make him throw the ball a little bit earlier than usual?
Maybe, but Dylan gets rid of the ball pretty quick.
But if he knows that coming in, he's going to call different play calls to get rid of the ball faster. Like
So,
Dylan,
okay,
Dylan's not stupid.
I'll give you the scenario right now. Top Sauce is up by 5 points.
Mhm.
5 plays to go. So Laval's got the ball.
It's a coin flip. Honestly, I can see if you run that
in
scenario
that,
10
in
times.
that scenario, I agree with you. It's like it's 50-50. But in the other way around, where the game's 0-0 and who do you have scoring more points? The
I
Voss
agree.
Finest
In
gonna
that
put up a
case,
lot of
let's bring in
points.
our guest, Alex Halowak. Hello.
yeah,
Oh.
we got to
Good
play,
job,
we gotta
Mokan.
play the drop, and then we get to Hollow.
Good job, Mokan. It's what you do for a living.
Hello. Where are you?
Today's guests on the Sportira guest line are brought to you by Sportira, the official suppliers of FPF uniforms and jerseys, as well as the home to the Sportira cage. Are you not getting your stats because your jersey is so beat up that the scorekeeper can't read your number? Don't be that guy on the Flag Plus football wall. We all know who you are. And get yourself or your team a fresh new look today by emailing info@sportira.com for quotes and details.
Hello.
Yes, Halowak. How are you today, sir?
Hey, Mo Khan. Glad to hear your voice. I'm doing
Always.
well, sir. Yourself?
We have a question for you.
Shoot.
2 weeks, it's going to be Laval's Finest against Top Sauce. Top Sauce is up by 5 with Laval having the ball with 5 plays to go. Who do you take? The Top Sauce offense, which has been the
No.
most prolific?
It is the other way.
Oh, sorry. The Laval's offense, which has been the most prolific, or the Top Sauce defense, which has been the best in the Div 3?
So scenario is Top Sauce is up 5 on the Laval's marching the field.
With 5 plays to go.
5 plays to go. I'm taking the veteran Dylan Taylor, man. I think he's gonna calmly march into position at half field, and then he's gonna take a strike with either Theo Bekelis or Jamie Ojeha, Rob Mashtub. There's just too many weapons on that Laval's finest offense, and Dylan knows how to manipulate that. So I'm taking the Laval's finest offense in that scenario, Mo.
So we have Halawak, Laval's finest. You said
Same thing.
Laval's finest. You said
What else, man?
Gina says top sauce. I say top sauce. Eagle, you
GM
say
GM
what?
wasn't involved.
Thank you. Top sauce. All right. So
Jim
it's
said
three.
yes.
It's 3-3.
No, Eagle said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-3.
No, so 3-2, and you lost.
I mean, also, like, we'll see it happen anyway. Like, what's the game?
Unless
happen
it
for?
doesn't get that close.
Yeah. So speaking of speculation, I know that you've been very interested in this particular field of interest, Alex. The Bitcoin is. Do you see that as a bubble? As a bubble market? Because I can't see this playing out long term. But explain to me why it is not.
Well, Bitcoin is pretty awesome. I mean, it's basically like a game where you go online and you just like pick a combination of letters which you think are cool, and then you put some money on it and it returns more money in a really short time. So Bitcoin is fantastic. No, to be honest, I don't think it's speculation. I think it's something that's kind of disruptive technology, which is revolutionizing different industries across multiple areas of business. And I think this is something that's going to be the wave of the future. So if you're not into Bitcoin right now, Peeze, I strongly suggest you take a look. Prices are pretty good right now. You might be able to get in cheap for 2018 if you go quickly. Otherwise, you're going to be caught on the bench again.
I do have a story related to Bitcoin. Chapman, our former producer of this show, he's decided to take his extra time and farm for Bitcoin. He built himself a computer that the reason he justified the cost was that he's using the computer to heat his apartment because how much heat it produces.
That sounds like Chapman.
Which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, well, maybe he's got it hooked up to his power cables outside his house there, because that's pretty much the only way you can generate enough electricity to mine Bitcoin.
I have a feeling he's sleeping in his winter coat. It's what I think is happening. But that's neither here nor there. From what you've seen so far, I mean, your article's coming out in a couple of days, but can you tease it for us? Can you tell us who do you think the top 3 teams are in your power ranking?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought it up. I got a good article coming out this week. I don't want to toot my own horn a little bit too much, but I think Div 3 is going to like it.
I think he just did.
I put a lot of work into it. I really took a deep dive onto the statistical side to kind of measure up different players. I'm going to do a complete review of all the quarterback rankings 1 through 20 for the first 3 weeks of the season. I'm going to look at the top 50 receivers. I'm going to break it down quantitatively. And I'm going to look at the teams. I'm going to do an extended power ranking for all 20 teams. It's going to be kind of like my trimester special, you can call it. So just to tease it a bit, it's coming out likely on Saturday afternoons at some point. The top 3 teams in the division, however, I'll give you the top 3. That'll be a freebie. There's a little bit of a shakeup this week. As you guys know, Peeze, part of that game. You guys upset the Dad Bods. The Dad Bods lose the top ranking this week. They're going to slip. Laval's Finest takes it at 3-0. So we have Laval's Finest. We have the Dad Bods. And then afterwards, we have the Brotherhood coming in at 2-1. Offense is still a little bit patchwork. There's still a little bit of a work in progress, you can call it. But that powerful Brotherhood defense, man, that one's back, I think, for good for the rest of the season. So Brotherhood is trending upwards.
After a surprising start for the QB movement, we now see them lose 2 straight games. Have they written any messages talking about how Alex Halawak was right? Or did they just write about how you're wrong in that first week?
So if you guys, whoever saw that little scenario transpire, what happens is maybe, I always try to write with a little bit of humor in my articles, and maybe I was a little bit, I pushed it a little bit too much on the QB movement side. But yeah, so they, you know what, they got a little bit testy with it. They questioned my predictions for them. Going 2-8 is rough. It's always tough to hear you're going to go 2-8. Now they're at 1-2, and I have to say, having seen them play a couple times this year, I don't think this is a 2-8 team. I think this is a team that's going to be much closer to 500 when it's all said and done. Maybe 4-6, maybe 5-5. They're sound, like they're solid defensively. They have good pieces across the board. Their quarterback is learning how to adapt to the flag game. It's taking him a little bit of time, as it takes many others, but he's also playing in Division 2, so it's just kind of enhancing his progress curve. So I like the QB movement. I definitely don't think they're going 2-8. No, I haven't gotten any messages yet saying that I was right, but you know how that thing goes. You never really get those messages.
I have one question for you, Halawak. You mentioned your power rankings. And again, let's say Laval's Finest and Top Sauce are both undefeated for the showdown in 2 weeks, okay? If Top Sauce beats Laval's Finest, do you put Top Sauce as your number one team?
It's, so there's a couple of factors that are going into there. I'm going to have to see Top Sauce, how they play this week. When they have their matchup versus, they have JYD this week, which is a team that's is hungry for its first win of the season. So I have to see how they do. I have to see if they have a dominant performance in there. I have to see how Laval's Finest puts up a showing versus Les Malouds this week, because I did catch some of that Top Sauce versus Maloud game this week, and Top Sauce looked like they had rebounded after a very kind of sub-average performance versus the QB movement the week prior. It also took them a couple of drives to get going. And Les Malouds are a team that's trending downwards majorly right now over the last couple of weeks. So it was kind of an easy contest for them. So I do want to see a little bit more of Top Sauce. If in 2 weeks, however, they can beat Laval's Finest, let's say by 2 scores, I'm not gonna give them the top ranking if they eke out a 2-point win. But if they can beat Laval's Finest handedly, then absolutely I would give them a solid look as a top overall team in Division 3. But as you can see by my answer, in my mind, there's still a little bit of work to go for Top Sauce before they earn that kind of trust to be anointed the number one spot.
Earlier in the show, we talked a lot about the surprise that Darksiders beat Dabods. For us, that was like the number one upset this week. Can you tell us another upset too in your mind that happened this week in week 3?
Yeah, so you'll see from when I released the article, I was pretty spot on with the picks this week. Like I picked kind of the favorites as well, so that always helps. But I went 7-2 with my picks. The other pick that kind of got me off, that threw me off, was your game, Simon. I picked LGM to beat you guys lightweight. I saw this as a matchup of two teams kind of trending in different directions. LGM was 1-1, should have been 2-0. They lost the last second heartbreaker to QB movement in week 1. You guys were way off last week against Darksiders, and having seen you play earlier in the season, I thought that you were still a little bit off rhythm, especially dating back to your ACL injury in the Fall Cup. I think you were still trying to find that kind of connection with your receivers. So I thought LGM was going to come in and take you guys, but you know what? The game went down to the final drive. It was 33-30. We all 33-31. We all on the sideline told Simon, "Hey Simon, here's the ball. Don't choke." And what did he do? He marched the field like a seasoned vet, and he punched in the game-winning score. So lightweight surprised me in that one.
Where do you put the odds on Simon? Ask that question just so you talk about him.
Yeah, make him like a war hero over here.
I did not.
The one-legged Simon Desjardins hobbled onto the field. I put the odds very low because I don't think Simon thought in a million years that I would give him some hype. So I put the odds very low on that one.
Hold on, Alex. When you look at Simon Desjardins, he said he had an ACL injury, correct?
Fake news.
I was not fake.
He said.
So hold on, was it a strain? Was it a partial?
Yes, I
tear?
pulled my ACL in this room.
Okay, so
It was what Marco would describe as a mental injury.
in the medical world. Should you not be wearing a sleeve or a brace on your knee?
It's pulled. It's not torn.
All I can say is that I've never heard of an ACL pull before, but I'm going to take his word on it.
A strain I've heard, not a pull.
He was moving. He was pretty nifty last game. Like he made Malcolm Archer swing and miss on a couple of occasions with that little hip duck. So his ACL might be sore, but his hips are lathered up and they're firing on all cylinders right now.
He's got those salsa hips going on.
Hips don't lie, man. Hips don't lie.
I'm calling up Shakira.
We've seen Mario Pareca develop over the past few seasons. This has been by far his best outing so far through 3 weeks. What do you attribute his early season success to?
Alex Bilo.
This is Mario Pareca is on fire. He's head and shoulders the top ranked QB through 3 weeks in Division 3. But you'll see my article. There's a statistical breakdown. It's going to be in depth. It's going to show that he's the top dog. But it's been a work in progress for Mero. This isn't an overnight success. Like, we've seen the trend line rising over the last couple of seasons. We saw it in Division B this past year, where he was almost an all-star. We saw it in Division, I believe it was 3 the year before. So he's been building his way up. This year, he has a very solid cast of receivers. He has his not only Alex Pilon, who's obviously on a record-breaking path. In the early part of the season, but he's also got Daniel Mancini, the two top-ranked receivers in the league, Alex Pilon and Daniel Mancini, and he knows how to work with these guys. He's dumping off easy passes to Alex Pilon, who's breaking tackles, just like making people look foolish. And then he's hitting Daniel Mancini over the top on these like bombs and these 20-yard comeback routes. So he's got the explosion. The offense is there, and he's playing with that confidence. Like, this is a guy who's a polished, accomplished tackle football quarterback. And over the years, he's taken his lumps, but he's learned how to adapt to the FPF game. And I think we're starting to see the real benefits of that. And I think that if you ask any of the higher division guys who are following Division 3 this year, hey, who's the quarterback who's on your radar now? I think that next name is Mario Pareca right now.
Mm-hmm. Alex, we'll get you out on this. Your article come out when?
Saturday afternoon, Mo.
All right, I'll be at the field by then, so I won't be able to read it then.
No, you
Sunday
won't.
morning,
I'll send you a nudge. I'll send you a nudge, Mo.
Please,
so you'll catch it when you're scorekeeping.
And Hollowak, just one last thing. Where can people reach you to tell you were right about the things you wrote in your article?
You can reach me on Facebook. Check me out for my name, Alex Hollowak. You can reach me on Twitter at AlexHollowak1. You can come see me at the field every Saturday night from at Lachine from 6 till 12 p.m. on Field 2. And that's it. So I'm pretty easy to approach. Come by, tell me that I'm wrong. Don't spit on me or anything, because I might have to retort to that. But definitely come by and tell me if I'm right, and tell me if you like the article, or lay something online for me. I'd appreciate that.
Hello, have a great weekend, pal.
All right, thanks, Al.
Thanks, guys, and keep doing a good job.
Later.
Ciao.
That's weird. He said last week we did a great job.
We got worse.
Yeah, we got progressively worse. Progressively worse. Okay.
By week 10, we'll be unlistenable.
Yeah, please, I don't want to do this anymore, guys.
Can
Don't
you guys
call
improve,
me.
please?
I'm going in bed. We'll wrap up very soon here. Bearskins, your boy.
Good win this week.
Great win. You were there for that game.
Yes, I scored kept the game.
Guillaume Brasso with 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
And he started barking at me for you two pinheads.
Cool.
Well, I don't understand why.
Because you guys insulted the team last week, no?
So poor listening skills. But honestly, I like Guillaume Barras a lot. I saw him at the Combine.
4 touchdowns in 2 games.
I thought he was head and shoulders above everyone else at the Combine.
Agreed.
He was the best player there.
But the story is the best, though, right? We'll keep the first party nameless because it's unfair to that person. The person comes up to me and goes, hey, who's been good so far? I go, the guy from Laval's really good. Really? So he takes his paper. I'll borrow this now. What's his name? Okay, Guillaume Barras. Okay, so as he's writing the name down, Marco Bertoli walks in. Hey, Mo, who's been good? That guy over there from Laval. Really good player. Okay, cool. He walks up to him. Hey, I'm Marco. Nice to meet you. Okay, cool. Where you going? I got his number. We're good. He walked in and walked out. Like, he just got his thing, and the other guy's
That's
like...
trust, man.
The guy's like trying to get the name, and
Why
he
not?
looks up. He's like, what's going on here?
I was there actually for the Bearskins game, and I was standing next to this guy,
Hi.
Simon Dajne. It was a lot like this,
Hi.
but we were standing, and I saw Guillaume Barassa run a filthy comeback. And
Oh, yeah, that route was
he-
disgusting.
Like the DB was still running towards his own end zone
Yeah.
for another 10 yards, and Guillaume Barassa just standing on the
And
sideline.
it was
going,
also
"Hi."
against good athletes. Like, it's not, you're not running against, like,
No, yeah, absolutely. It was just a ridiculous route.
Yeah. He's a very, very good receiver. I think he's still learning the FPF style of play. It's a bit different than what he's used to, but he's up and coming for sure.
One of the guys from the Bearskins asked me, what do you think? I go, he's a better inside guy. He's not a wide out. I think.
I don't know.
It depends on the QB, man.
It depends on QB. It depends how
Yeah.
you use him, and he can run every route. He has the full route tree. So why not put him outside?
So, Bearskins, they needed that number 2 to Marco Bertoli because they
With no
lost Sasha
Sasha
Papic.
Papic, right?
Marco Bertoli dropped an easy walk-in touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
And
but
it was hard to walk.
Wear gloves.
That one guy that really stepped it up this season is Kyle Britton. He made
Yep.
a ridiculous play down the sideline. He got
So
a PD
that's
on the
again,
penalty.
That's the only way you describe things. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Yes, I make everything ridiculous.
But he's been more vocal in the defense.
I think like somehow he really stepped it. Like he improved a lot recently, and from between the fall season and this winter, I feel like there's a huge difference. What I saw from him yesterday, I was very impressed with. He's a good player, but now he's gotten a lot better, and he helps the Bearskins offense because they need that other receiver. They can't just go all out on Marco, and Kyle is doing a great job.
It is now time for
Games of the week.
all right, GM 3 games to pick at. Here we go.
Dirty Dogs, the QB movement.
I think QB movement will win this one.
Yeah.
Dirty Dogs have not convinced me so far. Ryan Lelanowski has not developed completely as a quarterback yet.
Yeah, I agree.
I pulled the upset here. Dirty Dogs win.
Next,
Purple Rain, ODBs.
Purple Rain. ODBs are a complete mess.
Yeah, there's just polished to Purple Rain and
All the way.
and not to
It's
ODB.
gonna
That's it.
take the
Alex
defense apart.
Hallback leading the team. ODBs haven't found the rhythm on offense at all.
Bearskins, KGP.
Oh, that's a good game. I'm going KGP here.
I'm going to go KGP on this one. Close
Upset. I'll take the barely skinned.
Oh,
one.
funny.
Guillaume Brass will be angry at Simone and I next week.
All right.
I guess.
I'm fine with
Something. Volkan, tell us.
A random city that no one cares about.
Good night, Sheboygan.
Nobody does care about Sheboygan.
Home Alone, John Candy.
Yeah.
We're going to go through Sheboygan and get to Chicago.
I know. Just nobody cares about them now.
Sheboygan, man.
I mean, they shouldn't have left the kid alone. It's terrible parenting.